Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, question, what if you had to switch rackets? Middle of a point? Middle of a set? Stay tuned. All right, so question from William here. My name is William. I'm 14 years old from Sweden. I watch every episode of your channel and I've learned so much from it. I'm a dedicated player. I practice 5 days a week and play tournaments almost every weekend. Me and my father often play together and sometimes we switch rackets. The result is terrible. We just can't seem to stay inside the lines, or we hit the net, and we are both pretty good players. We have a question that we often discuss. What would happen if the pros switch rackets with each other? Rafa gets Novak's racket and the other way around. Team gets Zverev's. What would happen in a game between them? How fast can they adjust? Which of the pros can adjust faster? That's a good question. I got Coach Chris over here. I just know that it's difficult. I mean, especially if you're at a pro level, you're so tuned into your own racket that taking somebody else's tuned racket to their liking might be a little difficult. I mean, I know the pros rackets are pretty heavy and standardly heavy. So I would say it would be moderately difficult given their pros though. But Coach Chris, what do you think?
I think that it would be a good exercise for some of the pros, and I think it's more a mental exercise for them, because there's many times when you're even playing with your own racket where something doesn't feel right. Strings tension's not the best. Could be manufacturer on that end of things where the racket doesn't feel weighted correctly. Many times when you go to get your racket strung, it could be done a wrong way. That's why you have multiple rackets. But I think that...
Hey coaches, are you tired of feeding 1,000 balls an hour and not being able to see exactly what's going on in their techniques of your players?
Ready position.
Fast track tennis is the way. They'll feed the balls for you. You can stand on the same side as the person you're coaching. You can see exactly what they're doing wrong. Are they turning? Are they turning wrong?
Swing.
Can you really see it from the other side? Get fast track tennis today and help your students and help yourself with your lesson.
Swing. The biggest challenge would be on the mental side, but I feel like a lot of the pros would be able to switch actually into playing with another racket quite quickly. So they're going to be able to adapt and problem solve right away. If they're actually able to play, a match, if they say had to play a match with a different racket than they're not used to. They might miss a few just to get an understanding of how the racket feels and plays in their hand. But then after a while, they'll start to be able to kind of play and compete with it.
Yeah, I feel like I've maybe 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes with a racket, get a couple rally balls down, and I think the pros should be able to deal with it. Not easily, but I think they can adjust a lot faster than, let's say, I could or somebody, like William could. I don't know which rackets you and your father play with, so maybe that's part of why, you net it or you fence it, because maybe your dad plays with a powerful racket and you play with a, player's racket. Therefore, you got tail of two way different rackets. Again, Coach Chris brings up a good point. The strings are different in your rackets. The strings are pretty similar in the pros, so I would say the pros can adjust fairly quickly, not like us. But yeah, no, that would definitely be an interesting experiment. I wonder if they'll do a benefit with something like that.
Yeah. Again, it's just more of a mental exercise. I think it's just, being patient and understand that the racket isn't yours, and then trying to figure out how to actually play with that racket. It's going to take a little bit, but pros can be pretty in tune to how a racket, feels immediately after swinging a few balls, right? Providing you have good technique. But I think the biggest thing is your focus and your attention to actually making contact the way that you are. You can't automatically start swinging the racket like your own racket. It's a different racket, so you're going to have to adapt right away.
Yeah, the swing and balance.
Yep.
Yeah, big things there.
But it can be done.
It definitely can be done, for sure.
And William can do it too. And his dad.
I would think that if they do those like benefits for a cause, that they should do something like that. Iga takes Rafa's, and then Nadal takes Iga's racket, and see what happens there in a mixed kind of a atmosphere.
Yeah,
that would definitely be super fun. But William, I guess the more you do it, the better it's going to be, and the easier it's going to be for you too, because I guess it's just initial shock that you're just going to have to overcome if you continue to do it that way. But it's always fun to try something new and switch with your dad and see if your string breaks and you got to use your dad's racket, there you are, right? Coach Chris?
I agree. I think, again, just goes back to how to do it, right? There's certain cues to focus on. It is more of a mental exercise too. You're going to have to be very focused on your technique, footwork, how you're holding your racket. So those are all good exercises to use to be really attentive to how you're playing with a different racket. That's going to be a big thing. And if you say you play tournaments every weekend, maybe you can try playing with your dad's racket one time in the weekend and see how that goes for a few points and stuff, to really kind of focus on your patience, your mental toughness, and being adapt to any situation. So
yeah, we can't be spoiled, guys. Coach Chris, thank you for joining me today. Where can we find you?
You can find me at CV Chan Tennis.
And
that's
it. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.